of our highlights that are being released every weekend, Magic Ball 2, and Avatar ID, and talk a little bit more about that. And also, same thing that we're doing in Argentina, right? We're doing it in Argentinos Junior, right? So yeah, I'm gonna present that as well.
Awesome. So we are live. And hey everyone. Oh, nice to see you again on our AMA session. Welcome, welcome. Here today, Diego from Legacy Protocol, who do great product around football ecosystem. And I believe this year will be huge for football because we have World Cup in the United States, and like we have a couple minutes before discuss this. So yeah, Diego, I believe you have a lot of to share with us today. So Mike is yours. Tell us first about your project, and then maybe we can discuss the current situation of the football overall and like whatever you want to share with us today.
Absolutely, Daniel. Hey, happy to connect with all the folks here in your channel and all your audience. It's a great platform for us and a good opportunity, and always happy to share a little bit more about Legacy Protocol and what we're building here. We've been building it for the past 4 years now. This is our sixth club that's been integrated to the protocol. We did a proof of concept in Latin America. We It was proof of error. We see what worked, what didn't work, and now we're ready to scale within the tier one brands. Uh, as well to take this product globally, right? So basically, the problem that we're solving with legacy protocol is fandom being fragmented, right? So most of these sports institutions and sports brands, right? Uh, Whenever they're trying to connect with their audience through a digital platform, it's all fragmented. It's not centralized. It's through third party, right? They don't really have I mean some of them do, right? The main ones do, but they don't really have like a main platform that's branded from their site and they own a piece of it. And that's a big problem that they have, right? When they're trying to fragmentalize fans that they have in Asia or fans that they might have in Africa, right? It's hard for them to like monetize out of them, right? And it's hard for them to like measure their fan engagement and see what kind of fans that they have, right? The main three sources of revenue that sports organizations have are player contracts, jersey sales, and tickets, right? So a lot of that is being concentrated within the city where the sports institution or the sports organization is from. So what we're trying to do with Legacy Protocol is be able to reach and 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 try to measure that fandom globally by using on-chain tools. So this is what we did, for instance, with PSG. You get inside of their official platform. This time we did it with Match Play because Match Chain is the official blockchain that PSG works on top of, right? Because it's an official partnership that they have. So we built the app on top of that, right? But it's still, PSG branded. And they have like the identity layer, right? So they give us an SDK and we install the SDK, which was in this case, it was a Match ID SDK, right? So you're able to measure the fan engagement right here through the levels, right? Through the social contracts with the smart contracts. And of course, this is the first step that you got to take. You got to be able to redeem your ID, right? And that's the ID that's a digital asset, right? That's gonna measure your fan engagement, which is this one, right? And you got to claim it once and secure your first place in the batch. And once the batch closes, all the customizations that happen weekly start, right? So obviously PSG is a huge brand, right? They got millions and millions of fans all over the world. So this being our sixth case study, right? This is going to be the main one for us, of course. And like I said, there's games involved into this blockchain ecosystem that at the end of the day, like the fantasy game, it's a fantasy card game that most people know about. That you collect cards and you're able to redeem those cards for player performance each week. So yeah, this is part of the game too as well. And you're able to collect those cards and you're able to play inside of the platform, right? Depending on the rare cards that you have, right? You're able to accrue more points and you get to select your squad right here and just play around with it with the forward and with the midfielder and whenever you have your team ready, uh, you assign your squad, and that squad is based on real world and real life performances. Okay, that's one of the dApps, right? Another dApp that we have is the Magic Ball, right? Which is many people are very familiar with the mystery box concept. Um, that's very popular in Web3. So the magic ball is basically a magic ball that drops every game that comes with rewards. It comes with a match day ball. It comes with selected match day tickets, signed jerseys, signed hoodies or for that particular game or experience, right? So this was our latest magic ball, right? This was for uh, the game that was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was against Monaco. So this is the what you can unlock, like I said, is the digital rewards, like rare cards for the fantasy game that I just showed you, the shirts, tickets, and gift cards, limited posters, goals, animations, pieces of the match itself, capture like fan art, right? And also behind the scenes access and special content, which is one of the highest selling points in sports, right? People want to know what's going on behind the scenes. And also you get priority access to future raffles and drops. So it's all based on IRL benefits. All this ecosystem that we built, it's based on IRL benefits and it's based on how big of a fan are you, right? So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to measure your fan level through by using Web3 tools. This is another one, another asset that we have, which is the highlights, right? So you gotta be able to collect all these highlights to to increase your fan engagement level, right? If you're in bronze, you gotta be able to go to silver, and then silver, you gotta be able to go to gold, and then all the way to platinum. And you gotta redeem one, right? These ones are free. So right now I'm preparing the claim, and that claim is obviously that's everything's on chain. So I already have this, and this goes on my profile. So I'm able to connect to collect all the assets inside of my profile. I was like, I didn't show you the login, but the login is through the Match ID SDK, which is part of our deal that we have with Matching. So what they did is they give us an SDK with socials, and the social connects with all the assets that you have inside of our platform, right? So these assets are directly aligned to my smart contract over here. And this is done through account abstraction. So you don't really need to have a wallet to do this. Yes, you can log in with your MetaMask or Coinbase wallet or any wallet. But the idea is to bridge the Web2 fan to Web3 without them knowing. That's like the main part of our thesis. So as you can see, I got all my collectibles here. So my fan engagement is going to go up. Uh, see, these are all the transactions that I did inside of the platform, right? Everything is on chain, obviously. And yeah, so we're starting with that, right? And then we want to be able to advance on more games, right? We want to do a lot more partnerships with more game devs. We also have a prediction market that we're building right now, and that's aligned with everything that's the PSG world, right? And of course, that's still contingent for them to approve because obviously PSG is it's a huge brand, so they got to be able to approve all the dApps that we do, but the next level step, the next level and the next steps that we're taking, I would say, is finishing that prediction market and start growing everything that we have with PSG in Europe and as well with the other clubs that we have in Argentina, and just start growing our user base organically. Just start focusing on the product. That's what we don't want to do here mainly. I don't know if you can see this one. Am I sharing my screen? Can you see the other one,
Yeah, it's
Daniel?
good.
You can see Belgrano, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is like the other club that we have in Argentina as well. This was our third club that we launched actually. So as you can see, these are the cards, right, that you're able to collect. The same dynamic. This one has a lot more users. Has like already like 10,000 monthly active users. So you're able to you get recent claims, you get the top sellers, right? And the price points of each card, the top holders as well, and that way you're able to measure the fan engagement, right? And then you get the leaderboard here with all the points and the main players. And each season renews with a new album for each season when it comes to the cards and when it comes to the match ball and the highlights as well, right? And going back to the prediction market, like I said, each club individually has a prediction market. So that's what we want to do. That's part of our thesis statement, right? To create everything that can, increase your fan engagement level. Either it's by doing predictions, either it's by doing fantasy, or by collecting match day balls. At the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to be able to increase your fandom. Of course, when we will launch the prediction market, I mean, you're going to be able to do predictions and redeem that on stable coins, right? But you want to be able to increase your level of fandom as well. So actually, you're going to be able to do both. And this is the other one that we have in Peru, right? And it's the same concept, right? It's plug and play concept for every club. We got six that are live right now. And whenever we launch a dApp, right, that dApp is going to be available for all the clubs that are integrated into the protocol and the ecosystem. And the protocol is multi-chain, right? It's mostly for EVM chains, so it's not exclusive to one blockchain. So that's like another one as well. And yeah, you got the fan ID here, the avatar, the magic ball too, which is contingent to the brand kit that each club has. And yeah, we're at six clubs right now. We plan to get to 20 in the next couple of years. So I said we were in a good track, and yeah, it's like kind of keep growing right now. I mean, we're builders, right? We don't focus on the price of uh, crypto going up or down, right? We want to be able to be here in the long term. We want to be able to create real value, and we want to be able to create, tangible user base.
Awesome. That's huge. Like you have a lot of updates recently.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like how many overall avatars are claimed and maybe any cool stories or insights you have?
Well, yeah. Right now, we have about 360,000 unique wallets registered in the ecosystem. And one of the cool stories that we had is like we had the first partnership that we had with one of the clubs, right? The first proof of concept that we did a lot of sales in PFP. This was back in the NFT days, right? Back in the 2021, 2022 boom, right? Where, NFTs were the hottest thing around. And then, the market kind of reestablished and stabilized a little bit. And there we did a very particular sale of PFPs. We sold about 200,000 of PFPs, and people didn't even know what NFTs were. They were just buying because, they wanted to support the club and they wanted to, be part of the community, which is another part of our thesis statement, right? So people will literally do an emotional buy when it comes to their favorite club. So that's what we're trying to monetize here. And
Yeah.
that was a crazy experience because none of these users, none of them had a crypto wallet. I'd say about 98% didn't have a crypto wallet. And they were learning how to use MetaMask and this and that. Obviously, we had to guide them through the Discord and the Telegram. But at the end of the day, the friction was gone and it converted, you know.
Yeah, amazing. I see. And like you showed us, Belgrano activity there is very high, much more than PSG. And here I have a couple questions. So first of all, how the partnership with PSG happened, and what are the next steps to acquire users there? And also, I'm curious, like, so people farm some kind of scores. Do they reward it for that? They get free tickets, some fun assets. What do they like? Why
Yeah.
they need to
They get tickets,
bring?
they get jerseys, they get signed jerseys, they get the match ball, the actual match ball signed by all the players, merch, you know, hoodies, meet and greets with the players as well. That's something that we do. And how we got into PSG, we went into the Joint Innovation Studio. I don't know if you are familiar with that, which is a program that Match Chain did with PSG Labs. There were about around 200 startups that participate on that, right? And there were like we got selected within the top 3 or 4. So we're going to be one of the few startups out of the 200 that got selected to be able to, you know, deploy this a product that's part of the PSG ecosystem, right? So it's like a Y Combinator kind of deal, right? You're able to advance and then graduate. And right now we're taking it step by step, you know, game by game. Obviously, PSG is a very big brand, and they have, you know, specifications on everything when it comes to branding. They're very delicate brand, but we have experience, luckily, you know, dealing with clubs. So that's just like taking it step by step. And now we're part of the Joint Innovation Studio with Matt Shane and with PSG Labs. So we're growing on top of that. We're able to promote games, the games that are on League One, right? So League One would be like their official league, the French league, and we're focusing from there.
Cool. And I believe like we have the good question. Maybe we can start from it. So from our community, how do you come up with all this stuff? So tell us about your history, about your story.
How did I come up with what? With, you know,
Uh,
legacy protocol?
how do you come up, yeah, with this project, with this idea?
Well, you know, back in the day, we saw that socios was a pretty big thing, right? But we didn't see socios token have the real value, right? I mean, you could exchange it on a sex or like a central exchange or whatever. But you know, other than that, like it was just like spiking, went up and down. But you know, it didn't really have uh, an intrinsic value and utility, right? So we were thinking like, what do we do with a token that actually has utility and get the club involved on it, right? And then of course, there were, you know, other platforms that are in the market, more specifically the European and the US market. But you know, none of them really focalized in LATAM, right? That's where we started. But you know, some of them did, but it didn't really create a major splash, and it wasn't really for the fans, right? Like at the end of the day, this was only, you know, for like crypto traders or anybody that was trying to, you know, create buy this social token or, you know, sell it on a SEX or the central exchange and get some value out of that. Not really the value, intrinsic value of having utility. And with that, you know, the ability to be able to measure that and how, hey, if we will measure this, so we know what the fans want. So we're able to double down on that. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to the data and down to what the fans want, and we're trying to give them what they want, and just like create that fandom on chain with a token that has utility, you know. And
Mm.
we've seen that in other previous projects, right? That they did pretty good, but they did pretty good within the realm of Web3. We want to be able to bridge that into Web2.
Yeah, it's very important because if you want to get big, you have to think about users and football fans first of all. And most of them didn't hear about crypto at all, so they don't want to know how to install Web3 wallet. Like, what
Yeah,
is
they,
this?
they don't want to know any of that. No, no Web3 lingo. Yeah.
Uh, so it's absolutely reasonable. So, like, I believe most of our listeners today heard about Chilis, maybe Socios. They were
Chile's
pretty,
blockchain, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
very familiar.
they were pretty big in like maybe 3, 4 years ago when they started. They signed with more than 100 big clubs like PSG, Barcelona, Juventus, all these kind of clubs. But like fans tokens dropped and lost 90% of their value mostly.
Exactly.
Overall, like, current market is around $5 billion, which is really small. Like you mentioned, prediction market, and on poly market, it every month the trading volume more than $5 billion, and here we see the whole Web3 industry on sports, which like less than $5 billion. So, what's your like? What you guys do different, and why you still believe in this sector? And yeah, maybe some insights that you got from other guys like Chilis. What do they did wrong, for example, in your opinion, and what you try to do to avoid their mistakes?
Yeah, that's a good question, Daniel. So, like I told you before, like most of the strategies that Chili's and these other projects had was pushing this on a central platform, right? And getting the token value, and then the token goes down, and the value doesn't have a hold through time. What we're trying to do here is a consumer product, right? So we want to be able to, the user not be able to know they're using blockchain, right? This is a consumer product. This is fandom. This is a way to measure your fan ID and get engaged with your favorite club. So crypto and blockchain is just a medium, so it's not the end, right? Obviously, we're planning, of course, to do a TGE, but not right now. But it's a consumer product. That's the difference. And when you talk about prediction markets, and when you talk about how do you want to implement that here, right? So, one of the big parts of our thesis statement is the industry being fragmentalized, right? So the sports organization, they can't really when they do a deal with a sports booking platform or any kind of gambling website, that's a sponsorship deal. That's like that's their fans, right? So I don't know, Kelsey, sorry, or Betson, or any of those, right? They use their fan base in order for them to get users. But what if we use the fan base and the club gets the users, right? And instead of doing the sports books, regular online betting, we do a prediction market for them, and they have control of that prediction market, and it's a revenue share for them, right? So they're able to monetize that directly instead of just like leaving that to a third party. So, and that goes, everything goes inside into legacy protocol, right? Everything, the prediction market, the magic, all the fantasy, all the games go inside of the protocol, and the protocol spreads through all the clubs. I don't know if I was clear on that.
Yeah, I believe you're clear. By the way, we have one more question just to like clear it a bit as well. So
Sure.
will the prediction market be only sports event related or like regular one, like I mean, poly market,
No, this one would
etc.
be
So this
related to the
also we
club.
have
So it would be an
question
official
from our
product of the
ex.
club. When we launch, that would be an official product of the club, and obviously that's going to be pushed on their official X account. So the way that's distributed, like they push it through their official accounts, through their WhatsApp account, through their Telegram account. We help them with Telegram because most of them don't have Telegram, but it's an official product from the club.
Okay, and for clubs listening us today, what's the win for partnering with you? Maybe revenue, data, loyalty. Of course, like you cannot disclose all details, but overall, like what do you offer for clubs when you partnering with?
Well, like you said, Daniel, new revenue stream, a way to measure your data better, a loyalty system that's integrated, uh, the possibility of them creating their own prediction market, and the possibility of them creating a fan ID platform. And we don't charge anything upfront for the clubs, right? It's all revenue share. So that's a big selling point for them. And it's that.
Mm-hmm. One more question from our ex. Why not sell the idea to leagues, not clubs? It might be in form of licenses. And Premier has a basic centralized version of something like this. So what do you think about this
We're
question?
negotiating with leagues as well. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility for us. Right now, we have the ability of closing with individual clubs because it's easier. Because the football world is not easy, getting into leagues is very political and everything. But we're negotiating with leagues as well. The leagues in Latin America, mostly in Latin America. But we're
Mm-hmm.
up to that. The protocol works for leagues and multiple team expansion. That's what it works for. It's just like a matter of what we were able to close as a team.
Okay. And I know that you have plans to launch your token. So what will be the difference between, let's say, fun tokens and all other sport-related tokens in your case? What kind of
The
way?
utility, the utility and the club is involved directly. So the club gets revenue from the token that we launch instead of
Uh,
just getting,
Token and how you mentioned that like people don't even know about they are in crypto. So should they buy token for any premium features, or how will you motivate them to hold it? So what's the idea here?
well, this one thing is a consumer product, right? We want to be able to grow that. And the other thing is the strategy that we're going to have with every sex, tier one, tier two, or tier three, or whatever. So that industry is going to be there, right? Traders going to be there. Like each one they already have the trading volume, right? And that trading volume, like that's contingent to the amount of user base that we have and the amount of daily active users, the amount of monthly active users that a platform has, right? So if a platform is successful, similar to doing an IPO or whatever, we feel that our coin is going to do better as well because we got all these users, we're doing all these activations, so the product is growing, right? So it's just a different medium. So the Web3 buyers are going to be there, right? And the consumer products are going to be there. So we want to be able to separate those two, you know, by
Mhm.
the amount of user base that we have and the amount of interaction that we have through the official partnership that we do with the clubs.
Okay, but in this case, how do trader benefit of growing user base if users don't involve in token?
Come again?
How you will motivate investors and traders buy your token and hold it if they don't benefit directly from product itself? Like when user base is growing, users do not need some. They don't have incentive to buy the token, so overall traders do not win from increasing your adoption. So
Well, the
how?
idea is for the token value to stay in time. We don't want it to drop. That's the idea. Like that's like the long-term idea. So hopefully, though, they're going to be making money out of the token just for the token value that we're going to have, and for the liquidity that we're going to have, and for the trading monthly volume of trading that we're going to have, right? So that's the idea, for them to buy it as an asset, as a financial asset, but that's going to be beneficial for them.
I see. And related to tokens as well, one question from our community. Are fan tokens worth holding or just for voting perks? It's like more your personal question, don't relate it to legacy protocol, your opinion.
What's the question again?
Are fan tokens worth holding or just for voting perks?
The fan tokens, the ones that are on the
Yeah,
central
should
chain,
people will hold fan tokens? What is your opinion?
like chilies and those kind of products.
Yes, like this.
I'm not really a big fan of that,
Maybe
but
can go trade in the past. You can share
yeah,
your.
some of them, had good momentum, and some of them, at the end of the day, it's still about, riding the wave and having the right momentum with those particular kind of products. But this market's hard for that. The market right now, it's kind of hard. So I don't want to give any financial advice because at the end of the day, uh, you got to be able to trade what you can afford, and it's just a matter of momentum, I guess, because like you said, most of these projects, some of them peaked a couple of years ago. Some of them are growing, but they're not really doing anything to bridge Web2 fans, right? They did a lot of sponsorships, this and that, right? But the question is like, what part of that did it convert, right? To
Mhm.
that we're new to crypto. So as of for now, I'm not really sure about those tokens, the fan tokens that are in the market right now. I
Mhm.
mean, they did a back in the day, they did a good job, but um, it's just a matter of perspective, I guess.
Yeah, like from my perspective, I think they can be hot topic when it will be a period of World Cup. And by the way, Chile is pushing hard for this year. They launched new national team tokens, huge US expansion. They already started their partnerships this quarter, and
I heard
new.
about that. I heard
Yeah,
about it.
new mechanics on burns and issue based on match results to keep price stable and like avoid this drops for 90%, you know. So yeah, I believe it's also good for you because when people talk about Web3 football, maybe you can also use this hype like
Yeah,
make
of
more.
course. I mean, if they're doing good, it's good for the industry. So, I wish them the very best, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
This
those staking mechanisms, we're working on it for PSG as well. So you're gonna be able to stake the official token there as well. So we have that feature too.
Yeah, there is also an interesting question. I believe the answer is pretty simple, but still, would you onboard Web3 users if you didn't need a wallet? So I believe you have to tell more about account abstraction. So users have wallet, but they don't know about that. So please
That
share your vision.
that's how it works with account abstraction. So you would use the social SDKs that are out there, and the user is able to log in with Google, with Twitter, with their Telegram account, right? And once they log in, uh, they're already inside, and when they're redeeming, whenever they redeem an asset or whenever they buy an asset, that asset is on chain already. So it goes through the social login. So that's how it works. And the SDK just like gets the social logins, every different say email, or you could do SMS too, you could do Telegram, uh X. So that's the idea, right? That's like one of the main tools for this to work, the social abstraction.
Yeah, exactly. And from my opinion, it's industry standard right now because on every protocol now you have options, how you want to connect, and wallet even usually hidden from the first page, so crypto user can easily find it. But for just a user who is not familiar with crypto, you can log in via email or socials or any other stuff that can be possible. Yeah, and another good question from the community: what's the simplest Web3 use case that actually works in sports, in your opinion?
Fantasy games, fantasy, because it's free and you're able to collect every game. And for us, it was a pretty good use case. Uh, People are very engaged with fantasy. They want to be able to collect their cards, and for us, it worked out pretty well. And of course, the prediction market, but we haven't launched that, but it works everywhere. So we believe it's a very good fit in sports, especially with all the stuff that you can do that you can't do in online betting platforms. It has a lot more versatility. So I would say those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's discuss also the
And
topic
Fan
of.
ID too. The Fan ID works pretty well too. The Web3 Fan IDs because you're able to have an actual passport, a fan passport that gets you everywhere.
Yeah, I also agree
You
with
have
you.
that
Like,
one too.
should work really great. And this is a topic I would like to discuss next. So NFTs in sports, Web3 sports, right? So first of all, everyone talk now, right? NFT market is dead. And actually, it's not dead. It's dead if we talk about NFTs as like just JPEGs. But if we talk about utility NFTs, like gaming assets, which are pretty good now, or NFTs in sport, they are also pretty hot right now. So sport NFT market is more than $8 billion. So it's much, like almost twice more than token market, right? So what do you think about NFT here? So you already mentioned Fan ID, which is basically NFT for users. But what
That's
other, yeah, what are other NFT things you see in the future, and what NFT let fans to do, like own, etc. I would like to hear your vision here.
So the NFT is just based upon the utility. So it's as good as as what the utility that you give it, right? So if it doesn't have any utility, it like was basically worthless. But if it does have a utility, if it does help you, get to somewhere, it's a very good way to trace fandom, right? And the level of your fandom. So that's what we do in this case, right? So all of these are NFTs. Like in the back end, this is an NFT, that's an NFT. But people, they want utility out of the NFT, like real world utility, right? So the NFT is as good as the utility that it has, because like a ticket could be an NFT, right? And it like you said, the avatar ID could be an NFT. Uh, so it's as good as a utility. So if it doesn't have utility, it's not good. If it's only like based on speculative purposes, that's not going to work. But if it does have utility and if it does, help you get somewhere, right? That's the best case scenario for an NFT.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And in my opinion, NFT is something like your personal document. And
It
the
is,
good
yeah.
NFT can evolve when you evolve in some activities. So, for example, if you're a fan of any club, you go to the like competitions, matches, etc. You earn reputation with this club. You involve in different activities, maybe buy some assets from the club, etc. And you build your reputation. Your NFT
That's all
involves
about reputation. Yeah.
provide you some benefits, like for example, free tickets or maybe huge discounts or some kind of that. So you don't need to build your own loyalty program and think about that and try to collect all the data from user, you use NFT.
Wonderful. Yeah. Here, you get digital shirts, to posters, tickets, that's like the real utility behind of it.
That's amazing, yeah. And I also believe like, that if we talk about real world, NFTs will be like our documents will be NFTs. For example, property certificate can be NFT, etc. Okay, like I believe it was a really productive discussion today. We can finishing soon, but I have one last question to you. So maybe you can teaser us your roadmap. So more clubs this year, maybe AI personalization.
Yeah, we're working with AI personalization as well.
So what is coming this year for Legacy Protocol?
So you're gonna be able to. There's gonna be like a little prompting feature and similar to what they have on Mid Journey, and you're gonna be able to design your avatar through that, and that's gonna be connected to the protocol.
Cool. So
Be part of the SDK one SDK that we're working on, but that's after the prediction market. We're gonna go to finish the prediction market, then we're gonna go to AI tools as well. But it's more towards like the customization of the avatar, and you'll be able to connect that because Midjourney has all the APIs right now, so you're able to connect that through open source and get it there and segment it towards our specific audience, which in this case are PSG fans. So yeah, many AI tools coming when it comes to customizations of the avatar.
So it's mostly about, let's say, customization features. But what's about maybe some real utility to fans, like maybe some advices where they can see the nearest game or buy tickets at the best price or whatever. Like maybe some kind of these things in close collaboration with clubs possible, or you don't think about that?
Yeah, everything is open. So we're going to be an open protocol. So anybody that wants to build on top of that, of us, uh, everything's going to be open source. So that's what we want. We want the OS to grow, and that's a great idea. Actually, just kind of like do like a timer based tickets, and then you claim that ticket, and you get a better a full on discount. That's
Mhm.
so we haven't really thought about that, but that's something that's very doable.
Cool. Yeah, so I believe today we discussed a lot of things. So thank you, Diego, for this anime session. I heard a lot of interesting things from you. I'm not really up to sports token industry, but it's pretty interesting and pretty big. By the way, RWA is around 20 billion, so here we see the market of 5 billion, which is also pretty huge. And this year it can burst a lot because of World Cup in the United States, and of course,
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
yeah, I hope this huge wave will be favorable for you too. And I wish you great success. And thanks everyone to hear us today. Diego, maybe you want to say something before we're wrapping up?
No, I appreciate everybody's time, and hopefully you guys can come check us out on Twitter. We're on X. I mean, nobody really calls it X, but our Twitter is matchplay.fun. So if you want to find us on Twitter, we're there and happy to address any questions that anybody has. We
Yeah,
also have group support, so any questions, any inquiries on building on top of us, we're happy to address that.
yeah, guys, thank you once again for joining us today. Follow us, follow Diego and Legacy Protocol. If you have any questions, please feel free to share them and drop in the comments under this translation, or maybe directly in Legacy Protocol page. So thanks again for watching, for listening, and see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you, Diego.
Have a good day. Have a good one, everybody. Bye bye.